I did a scene with him where I was telling him how much I've suffered and, you know, I've been so underprivileged in my life and Arakshan. And he was, after cut, he said, no, I don't buy it for a second.
I don't buy it for a second. Oh, no.
And we drank.
And you tried.
आपकी टट्टी तो ही है और हमने ये की. He said, नहीं, no, सब नहीं लेंगे. Don't buy it for a second, he said.
Kareena and Saif, it's so lovely to have you on this special episode of Now Bingeing.
Yes, very exciting.
Thank you.
First of all, congratulations to you for clocking 30 years as an actor in 2023.
Amazing, yes.
What a milestone.
30s.
2000,
It's not 30 years because
1993.
you count a film release, right?
Yeah, you
but I think I
count it.
started working a bit before. So about
But the
3 years.
release was
So 32,
1993.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Yeah, there you go.
30.
Yeah. Not bad. Still
Yeah, still at it.
getting paid.
Another 30 years to go.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
People have set the bar in this generation, other generation. Like age, I remember when I joined movies, they said, oh, when you're 40, you'll probably be done. My
Really?
director said, yeah, because I think a lot of actors had a tendency to maybe age quicker in at that time. I think we're more conscious generally of health and fitness, and people are. I mean, also look at Anil Kapoor, Amit Ji. There's so many. Kamala Hassan. I mean, it's amazing. He's 70, right? You saw that trailer.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. It is fantastic. So I want to start by rewinding a little. So Saif, this is a piece I wrote about you in India Today magazine in 2003. Okay. First two lines were, Saif Ali Khan most resembles fine wine. Say the 1994 first growth of Chateau Lafite Rothschild. Sophisticated, rich, full-bodied, and relentlessly
Full-bodied.
getting better with age.
This is an incredible
love
review.
it.
I've
Love
just developed
it.
an interest
I
in
think you
wine.
should
Have
frame
you drunk
this.
this wine? Have you drunk this wine? No, well, of course, if you've written about
I
it.
think
But
we
it's,
have.
I mean, I don't know if I have, but that is
Chateau
the
Lafite
highest
is
compliment
careful.
ever. Yeah, but that year.
But frame this.
So this was the first two lines of this feature on you that I wrote. And I think it's true for the both
I want to
of you.
frame it. A wicketkeeper described my father's batting as a Chateau Latour,
Really?
62. And I want to frame your review next to his.
I
That'd be
think so.
cool.
It's
How
very
nice.
nice.
Anupama Ji, that's very nice.
Well, the thing is, it's true. 2 decades later, it's true for the both of you. And I want to start by asking, what is the secret to aging with such panache?
Well, should I take that first? Or you? Because are you aging? Even?
That's right. Are you even aging?
No, I'm not. I'm just like, yeah.
Frozen.
Yeah.
I'm not frozen.
Frozen in time.
You know, there's a Greek myth where this girl is trying to make up with Cupid's mother. Psyche is upset Aphrodite and she's punished. She has to go to the underworld and get the secret of beauty. And she goes there and she gets a box. And when she comes back out, it's sleep.
Sleep.
So sleep and exercise and diet and, the whole holistic kind of approach. Healthy lifestyle is the key to looking fit. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's simple. And genes. It
And
helps.
genes, yeah.
Yeah.
You have really good genes.
My mom looks young.
Yeah.
She does. She's so lovely. So lovely. Kareena, you?
I think so. I think this generally, since the kids have been born, we've just I think the entire lifestyle is about, keeping our health, being fit, sleeping early. I think that adds to everything, a happy life. Because when you're happy, I think you also kind of
You look good.
look
fresh.
good.
Yeah.
Fresh.
Yeah. It shows on your face, right?
Yeah.
Now this year especially, Kareena, have got so much acclaim for the choices you're making, right? For the fact that you're kind of stepping out of that idea of Bollywood stardom. But I would argue that these instincts were there from the beginning.
Yeah, of course.
Right, 2003, you're playing a sex worker in Chabeli. You did Omkara with Vishal Bharadwaj. You did
They with Govind Nilani.
Govind Nilani at that time.
Yeah.
Right? And then even I think about a film like Urta Punjab,
Yeah.
where you're not the lead.
No, of course not.
You're not the center.
Yeah.
And yet you instinctively understand that this is important and I should be a part of it.
Yeah.
So would you agree that these instincts were always there, but you're just leaning into them a little more now?
No, I think people are kind of recognizing that a little
That they were
too
always
late,
there.
that they were always there. I always, like, while doing a lot of the commercial movies, which I did with Salman and Akshay and everyone, I think there was always these bursts of, like you said, Omkara or Chameli or Dev. I was always trying to do that. But I guess that time no one really, I don't know, somehow there was no place for too much of all this, you know. It was always those box office kind of, you know, films that gave you that. But today, you know, like people are talking about the content, they're talking about different characters. Today, everyone's like, okay, there's no age to choosing roles. Or like you said, you know, a central part like in Urta Punjab, even though I was always brave enough to do that. I think it's just now that we're like, you're actually one of them who, you know, take time to ask and mention about it. Otherwise, it's always about the blockbuster, you know.
And you've, of course, always done that.
Well, I never sort of saw myself as any particular kind of actor, you know, or that I had a particular responsibility or I should try and do this. It was just a variation, a kind of idea of doing a bit of something artistic, something different, interesting, as well as commercial. So it was always a mix. And I never thought that, you know, I didn't really think about it much. I just would hear something from Omi and say, oh, it'd be really interesting to do an English movie, or it would be interesting to act in this kind of film. And the fact that it was off the mainstream gave it a little edge for me, which I was never somehow afraid of or bothered by. In fact, I was excited. I think I'd seen my mom and other people also make these kind of choices where, you know, I had sensed that the industry and people who write about us respect a little more if you promote a certain kind of interesting cinema with the kind of energy, and if you can call it power or something that you might get as a star. And if you enable other movies, I sort of instinctively sensed that that's respected, and it's something I wanted to kind of try and do.
Nice. Yeah. So how does a partnership between two actors work? Like I remember, Kareena, when we met for Janeja, you said that Saif told you that be on your toes because Vijay Varma and Jaideep Agarwal are great actors.
Yeah.
Now, is that a routine thing? Like, would you consult
And now
each
he's
other?
working with Jaideep, so I'm telling you the same thing.
Why do I feel I've worked with Jaideep? No, because you, I don't know why I feel I've worked with him. Or watching
No, you were on the
Patan.
outdoor.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know. You know, I didn't mean kind of be on your toes. I
No.
just meant that there's so different types of acting that stars kind of are capable of doing. And Kareena is one who has done those different kinds of acting. There's some which require you, perhaps she knows better than me, to kind of look a certain way and kind of perform like a star. And some are more natural and kind of under. So I was just saying these guys are really natural and good like that. So,
Yeah. But is this sort of the way you do it? Like, do you talk to each other about the roles or the scripts, or do you critique each other's performances?
Not if you know what's good for you. Just joking. No, we do all the time in passing in this, and what do you think of this? And it's not, there's also distance and kind of privacy about it where we don't get into it too much, but we discuss quite a lot.
Yeah.
But not like, let me critique or let me, there's a lot of like, okay, you're doing but there's also constant discussions, like in the middle of the night or in the morning, be like, what do you think of this? So it's great to have a bouncing kind of board that's so experienced.
I like giving advice and telling him what to do, and then he might not follow it. So whatever, but I still give my take.
And do you ask for advice as well?
Yeah, like if I feel like, okay, which film I should do.
You're unsure about it.
If I have 2-3 choices, I'll always ask him, and he'll always say like, I think you should like dump this movie or do this movie. He obviously,
Yeah.
it's important. Like his advice is also important, and especially now because I think apart from being an actor, we're also balancing out the 2 kids. So time frame, things like that, discussing. It's more also about like, matching his dates, and if I don't want to leave the kids too much. So films also depend on that now. So a lot of dynamics have also changed.
So we talk about everything, that this is what I got offered and what do you think of this and what about this and see this. And then when you come home from work, there's a bit of that, even if the other person sometimes doesn't want to hear it, you kind of run through what you did a bit and kind of what someone said, and, and it keeps things quite interesting also to have someone, go off and have different experiences and come back and talk about them. But we swap notes all the time and ask for advice and stuff.
And is there a sort of a, like that you need each other to say that, okay, this was good, you did well in this, and maybe this wasn't so good?
I think so. It's two things. One is that, there's a whole side to us where we're actually not interested in the other person as an actor.
Right.
And it's just something that we kind of tolerate even. Sometimes it's like, that's what you do, it's great. But come on, let's do this, or let's cook, or let's be with the children and do that kind of thing. But I forgot what I was going to say. What was the question?
Like, do you want the other
Yeah,
person to
Yes,
like
validation from them is the most
yes.
important thing. So
Yeah.
for me,
You like it, like
if
I'm
for
saying
my
that
film,
you
it's very important for me that she sees it and that she
Yeah.
likes it and thinks I'm a fab actor and that I've done well. And it puts a
Is it
kind of
you?
strut in my walk, and I feel like, okay, I'm cool,
On
because
top of the
it's very
world.
important to me.
And for you, is it important?
No. In fact, I'm always like, don't come, or, whatever. Like, watch it if you want. Like,
But are there some
Jamaica,
films you
watched
haven't seen?
on- No, I've watched all of yours.
No, of yours. Are there some films you haven't
Yeah, I don't see most of them. But like,
You don't see your own films.
Yeah, very rare.
So it's not important
It's
to her at
because,
all.
like I
Right.
said, it's not because I just don't want to get
But you
that
have
anxious
told me,
feeling.
you have told me you have to watch, you better watch this. Where's the support? And come,
Yeah, that's when I just don't want to go to that premiere alone, and I'm just like, just come, please. That, But it's not like, no, but after a long time, I told you that I really want you to see Buckingham Murder.
Yes.
Obviously, because I produced
And
it.
you
and all.
came?
And he went, and
Yeah,
he
you
loved
were
it. He
there?
went to
Yeah.
the Barmy Film Festival and whatever. So he does his bit when he has to.
But it's not something that you like require.
No.
You're okay if he's not watching.
No, in fact, I'll say like, okay,
You're
watch
chill
it if you
about
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many movies. You haven't seen so many of my movies, Chef. Like when you had to like rate, if you give him this, like, the
I've
five
seen
we
basic
will.
movies,
out of
which you
5,
will,
I've seen 3
we'll see.
or 4.
Okay, we're gonna get there. Now, the thing is, both of you haven't had any formal training in acting, right? You both kind of learned your craft as you did it, which is quite amazing to get to the level of artistry that the two of you have, and you're just discovering.
Except I think she learnt it like Abhimanyu in her mother's stomach. She had learnt it, and when you came out, you were quite ready to give a shot.
Yeah, more than you, because
More than me.
My exposure to films was a lot more than
correct.
Yeah, you were
Yours.
born for it.
You had to learn Hindi, no?
yeah.
No, I knew how to speak. I was just conscious of it. We all spoke really. In fact, in Delhi and Patodi and Bhopal, our Hindi is much better than
Right.
most people in Bombay.
But actually, your Hindi is better than mine also.
Huh.
But I was just conscious. And of
Right.
course, incredible English accent many years ago.
I remember you told me this story about Aditya Chopra holding up cue cards for you.
I had to do a little bit of a screen test.
For Parampara, right?
Parampara.
Yeah.
And it was, there was a dialogue. It was from Devdas. Oh, the line was about Devdas. It was, Arey Devdas ke avatar, ab koi dusra role pakdo yaar. I think one of Yashji's movies. And I said, Arey Dev Saab ke aulad. And they all started laughing. It was a mess.
Yeah.
Devdas ke avatar, Dev Saab ke aulad. As in,
But
You did actually like learn. That's why she gave you that compliment.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you did. I mean, to
like
start
fine
there,
wine. Yeah.
like fine wine, you have. I mean, you just kind of. But here's my question: when the two of you look at each other's performances for whatever, how many ever films of hers you see, do you see things that the other person's doing that you don't have in your arsenal? Like, is there something about his work that you really admire, or vice versa?
I
I
think
think
that
you should answer this first.
yeah, because I think that Sarah, Anu, yeah, she watches all our performances with a magnified
She
glass.
knows.
No, but I think like Saif now is very nuanced. He's because he's read a lot about acting. You've been reading a lot about
That isn't.
acting. No, somehow
okay,
I feel
yeah.
it has. And you somehow have helped me because you're always like, like,
I did kind of study it
Yeah,
a little bit.
a little
See
bit.
what
Now he
is this
has.
thing that people say is craft and technique? I have no idea what it means.
But this is all post you doing Langra Tyagi.
yeah,
Yes,
post.
yes.
Think about it.
Yeah,
Like
so
now,
that
I
happened
focus
just by
films and like
following
now.
my director.
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah, so
What
I
do you
think
say?
that in a way he also kind of, tells me like, like think about the line, learn your lines, or like, just the react. Like he'll be like first react and then say your line. Like little things he keeps telling me, like maybe you should do this and, think about it. Or
I mean, it's so easy for somebody watching to
Yeah.
kind of say, oh, like, have a take on it.
Yeah.
But the
No, but we don't discuss that. So I think he's more nuanced. I'm a bit more
Instinctive.
yeah. But he's like, maybe you can mix it up and kind of, change it. Especially like now I was doing comedy in Crew. So that is, you can be a little more nuanced. So I think he really helped me because there are 2-3 scenes I think which I've done, which I told you that I was remembering you. And I think it made a huge difference. And it was actually like super funny because of what he told me.
Nice.
But I think, also she's like a, most of the time, this very attractive star on screen, which, I wish I could be that all the time. I mean, not really. Whatever, it's just something I feel that, okay, that'd be interesting. Like the kind of presence and a kind of a persona, which I think is remarkable. Which is
It's a
always
dazzle, no?
Yeah, it's a dazzle.
Yeah.
So I can see that at times. And
Yeah.
like, wow.
But, Saif, so you and I had talked right after Tanaji, right? Which was, of course, a blockbuster. But before that, you had Lal Kaptan, which opened to some 40 lakhs or some abysmal figure. And I remember you telling me in that interview that I don't think of myself as a star. I have a very real assessment of where I am. And I thought that was pretty incredible, given that this is a business based on sort of a fair amount of delusion and vanity, right? Yes. How do you get to that place where you can see everything?
Well, I don't know. I think it's also experience, and you've gone through a career and you've seen that there's some things people love you in. Some films you're surprised at the kind of opening you've taken, and you think, okay, but what was it? And I like to analyze a little bit. You say, okay, there was a great heroine in that, and there was a lovely songs, and this is set in a world that people like to see you in. And then you put on the sadhu, action outfit, go out in the middle of nowhere.
Was, if I may say, it was slightly like...
Yeah, kind of.
I mean, I'm not being whatever, but it was not like there. Grace or a Salam Namaste or a Tanaji for that matter. It didn't
so to be realistic, to say you're not star enough to pull off anything you do. So that's nice. But I mean, there are times where, you have pulled it off. So you kind of feel, okay, so I think I'm realistic.
Also, maybe now, if it would have come now, maybe people have been interested because now people, I think, are watching.
There's so many things, though. I'm not defending it, but I mean the amount of publicity that goes in and how it was made, all those things. But I think it's nice to be realistic. And I've never really actually, and I suppose we're different in this sense, thought of myself as a star. And I don't really want to also. I mean, I like being a star. I don't want to be like delusional also, in the sense that it's quite easy to be. But it's nice to be realistic. I think my parents are big stars. My father is a big star, very realistic, very normal about. So there's so much more in life to kind of be real about. Yeah. So I think that my focus has kind of always been on that.
But also, coming back to, Lal Kaptan, nothing, whatever, I've not seen the film and I'm sure it's amazing. But for somehow, you just knew it because...
Knew what?
You did it because you liked the world. So he's not
really
told
us it would be our revenant. The way we suffered, we were in the middle of nowhere for I tell you something. No, I mean, off the point. Firstly, it was an amazing experience, and it was so exhausting and emotionally to a couple of months away from home. But my God, we bled for it, and we lived in the middle of nowhere, and we did all these things. And I think I really kind of grew as an actor to try and understand this kind of thing.
But nobody would be brave enough to do that.
Absolutely,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, for
so that's what I think makes. Despite telling him that, he was like, no, it's fine. Because I did tell him.
I want to be part of.
Yeah.
Right, you told him.
That was the answer. So I'm like, then I can't argue. Which was a fact. That's the truth.
And I think the idea is not to be scared of failing.
Yeah.
And for that, people say this is a brave choice. I mean, you talk about Adi Push, for example. People say, talk about risks. But until you fall on your face, then it's not a risk, really. Then, I mean, you have to have a few of those also.
You do.
And I think it's just part of the approach. And to be able to shrug that off and, feel bad and say, nice try, but bad luck, let's go to the next one, is the way I'd like to think.
But see, this ability to look at something like an Adi Push or a Lal Singh Chaddha, in which you were so lovely, right? You were so lovely. And that film was just, it didn't land, right? Mm-hmm. But this ability to say, nice try, let's move on. Does it also come from the fact that you come from such storied film families and you've seen the ups and downs pretty much all your life? So does it give you a kind of a cushioning against the turbulence?
I think that it also, because there's been a lot of experience beside of the film family. I've also worked for 23 years. So
Your own
there have my own
experience, right.
experiences of like, falling, getting up, doing it again and again and trying to, have that resilience. I think actors end up getting that resilience.
It has to be that because your
Yeah.
parents teach you so many things which you kind of like until you go through it yourself,
exactly.
you can't really.
So you build it.
Yeah,
You
over
do have,
time.
I think, build it. And it depends on how, it does depend on whether you're balanced and kind of, not easygoing, but how liberal you are with your own thoughts, with yourself. There must be people who get too wound up.
Yeah.
Who
You get too invested.
Yeah, and I don't know
Yeah,
how
like
healthy-
Amir was so invested in the film.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, I think I know I met him and I was like, I was upset because he was upset. I was like, but now you can't be, he also has a body of work which he's done so much for. You can't take everything. So, but I guess everybody's different.
Bhatt Sahib used to say that everything is timing. He said, I mean, he's being slightly dramatic about it. If your mother's died and you don't hug her, it's absolutely wrong. But if you're holding her for 2 days after that, it's morbid. I mean, you have to let go. She has very,
Right.
how long do you hold on for?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, given that we have
It's a
a finite
fine line.
amount of time on earth,
Yeah.
how much you invest in things that you have no control over is also mental health. It's like
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you have to just roll with the punches because you don't control the punches.
If you want to be an actor and a star and be in the industry, I think it's important that you have to be like that.
Yeah.
Or
Just go with it.
Or 30 years is not going to happen.
Exactly. Or
Or
23.
not a happy 30 years at least.
I mean, listen, that's what you mean.
Happy? I'm saying
Yeah.
you won't be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed. Seth, you had said that when the two of you first started dating, you sort of got advice from Rani Mukherjee.
Yes.
And she said to you that treat it like you're dating a man.
Yes.
And there are two heroes, which just sounds very odd. But I think what she
she's
meant
very
was
wise, and I
respect her career,
I wish
right?
I'd been, there's so much I would have gathered from her if I'd been a bit more mature myself in those days. Rani's really amazing. I'm enjoying being friends with her now, more than ever before. But she said this thing. We were on this thing, and she said we were shooting. I remember, and she was away, I think, from the love of her life, and she was like, "Let's just shoot nonstop, really fast, and finish this. And let's not take a day off." And she said, "Oh, you're going out with Kareena. I'm so happy. This, that, and that." She said, "Give you some advice. Just think of it as two heroes in the house." And I kind of got what she meant. But now more than ever, I go back to that advice sometimes because it's two people who are equal, who are contributing to the sanity and the sanctity of the home. When one is working, the other person is doing that with the children. So, I mean, we are.
So
I've
you-
always
you
thought
kept
of
doing
things but I understand it. It was brilliant advice. It was really good advice.
Yeah.
And it's a complicated thing what she was saying, because she was talking about gender roles and whether you feel that, is it okay for, my wife to be out of the house working so much while I'm doing this? And what she meant was, of course it is. Just treat it as, give it the respect of equality is what she was talking about.
and you guys have stuck to that for all these years.
But my mom's been like that. My grandmother ran the state at one point, but her house at one point. There was strong women around us all the time. We don't know any other type really. So,
Which is so lovely. Kareena, when you were asked about how much last names matter in the Hindi film industry and has that importance decreased or increased, you said it's decreased, right? But do you really think that's true, given our obsession with star kids, and especially yours?
what's the question?
Like, do you think it's actually
Last
true?
names, do they matter in the industry? I think it matters a certain way to get a job
No, but has
here
it
and there.
decreased?
The audience and people are so interested in star kids. I mean, look at Archie's,
that's
for
what I'm
example,
saying.
where people are only talking about.
Yeah, that's what she's saying. Or our
Certain-
kids, for that matter.
Yeah.
I mean, they're constantly being photographed, constantly being followed. I mean, tomorrow, if somebody wants to make a movie with one of them, it's not rocket science. Someone would obviously. So, I don't know. You have to decide where this attention and why it comes from. I mean, Temur was doing a taekwondo thing, and people were photographing him. It's on the internet, they're reels. So, we don't want that kind of attention.
Yeah.
So, we don't make the star kid.
No.
The star kid is made. I mean, we might make him biologically, but what adds to what makes the star
Yeah,
kid
absolutely.
is the
the
press,
culture, yeah.
and then the photographers, and then the audience,
Yeah.
and who perhaps quite innocently just want to see a star kid.
Yeah,
So why is
because
it
there's
such
just
a-
that, because it's just
I
in
don't
their
know why
mind.
such a
Yeah,
big
that's
deal.
even
Even
so
decreased, right, Kareena? It's not genuinely. I mean,
No, I think, but you might have a last name, but it doesn't mean you have talent.
no, of course not.
Or that you'll be
Absolutely not.
successful.
Or that you'll be successful. That we've seen.
That the
often
audience
enough.
decides.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in that sense.
So, I mean, in terms of consumption and now with social media, you might get really excited. And now, of course, people are, because they look at pictures and if you have like 40 million followers, you're getting like 30,000 likes or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you're a star.
Yeah.
And, I mean, sorry, but that
you
is
can
the
buy
truth.
30 million followers, no?
Yeah, I'm sure you can. You can do anything. But
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you're a star or anything. You have to prove that.
Yeah.
You have to, show your body of work has to.
I myself find Instagram depressing and distracting. I really do. I kind of look at it sometimes and I say, oh God, look at all these actors, what they're doing. What am I doing? I'm just, and then I'm like, no, I want to delete it. Because I don't, and then when I stop looking at it, I'm really happy with my life. And I think everyone should be happy with their life and not compare themselves to too many people.
Seth, you cannot say this because half the time we're looking at your lives.
Yeah.
Okay, those vacations. that the two of you are
Exactly.
on.
But the function of
Yes.
Instagram
He's like,
is that you
okay,
keep
put
looking
my
at
picture.
others.
Don't put my picture. You also do that, huh? But I
I'm
give
the guest
a
appearances
life,
on your
like,
Insta.
I do a little bit as much as I can.
Yeah.
Show a little and then pull back a little.
You're just really tough mentally, don't? And firstly, there's no one you can compare yourself to.
No.
Lesser,
Right.
so you're always going to come out on top when you look at someone else.
No.
I'd once asked him, Kareena, whether you ever have a bad hair day, and he thought for a second and said no.
Yeah, no.
No, she looks great all the time. I'm so lucky.
Exactly.
That's
Well, have I already told you this, that Temur is like my cutoff and my signal? Like after I've interviewed him, perhaps
Oh,
I should think about
God.
retiring. Like, how maybe Temur can be that? Like the hint.
You will for sure. But I don't know, maybe he's not going to be an actor. Then
That's right.
Then
Maybe
you don't
he's
need to
not.
interview him.
That's right.
He wants to be a lead guitarist and a football player for
Right now he wants to be Lionel
Argentina.
Messi. I'm like,
he wants
love
he
it.
wants to move to Argentina and become a
yeah,
footballer.
I'm like, figure it out now. Play properly. He just
love
lost
it.
his match yesterday.
Oh, but that's great. Listen, I have to ask you one thing. Carrie Fisher said that you can't find true closeness in Hollywood because everyone does the fake closeness too well.
See, listen.
Is this true
listen
of the
to-
Hindi film industry?
Can I just say the most
Fully.
important thing
Fully,
to
na?
be successful in our line of work, you have to be sincere, okay? And once you can fake that, and then you just absolutely have it made.
But see, everyone's saying that. It's everything. You
If you can fake the sincerity, it's just incredible. That's the best. That's what we value the most. Is
Fake sincerity.
fake sincerity is magic.
Yeah, yeah. But that's only in front of the camera,
How's that
right?
for a quote? Fake
I
sincerity
don't
is
know.
magic. in
Right now,
Bollywood.
don't give too many quotes.
I've given
I think
too
be
many,
silent, sir.
Yeah.
Listen, okay, talk about these amazing vacations, which are giving the rest of us FOMO. So you apparently have to do the organizing, is it?
Yeah, that though. I mean, I'm the.
You're the master of ceremony.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
You do enjoy it.
Yeah, because if I left it to you, we'd be like at the airport, like no bags, no ticket, nothing. I'm quite sure about that.
So you just get to go on holiday.
Yeah, he's just.
No, there's a lot of things. Listen, I'm also expert advisor, and
Yeah.
we guide each other in the right way. We have these conversations throughout the year. Sometimes we plan the next holiday while on the holiday. It keeps us saying, listen,
No, then we
our
start
plan is
panicking
we
when
have
we need to
4
work.
holidays a year. The
Right.
kids have holidays 4 times a year, long summer and then these short holidays.
Huh.
And we work most of the time.
Yeah.
And we work and then we take off on these holidays and we make these plans and we're going to go here, there, and this kind of stuff.
Yeah, and then we get also stressed in between that. Okay, now we
But
need to go
Kareena
back and
plans
work.
which restaurant on which
Yeah.
day, and then what we're going to eat, and then and all this.
So you're the
Yeah.
detailed,
I think
you're the
so.
micromanager.
Yeah, absolutely. Kitne bags hai, kya ho raha hai,
And then you
kitne
suggest
airport
1 or 2
pahunchna hai.
countries and places, and
Yeah.
then I'll have to say no, we can't ever do that. We have to. So we all kind of support.
We have to be in budget.
Yeah.
I
And
love
also all
What's
of
the-
that.
What's the budget?
Yeah, that's an all of that. Huh? Anu?
Budget.
So
I
that's
love
all.
that. But then you do the heavy lifting, basically.
Completely.
Yeah. Good for you, Seth.
But I function best in an advisory capacity.
I love it. Okay, before we go to the next section, I have to ask, why aren't you working together so much anymore? or at all? It's been how many years now?
We were just thinking of doing something. I think the most successful thing we did together was the Tata Play ads. They were seriously.
Yeah.
There was. I didn't even realize this interview was for Tata Play because it really was the best thing we did.
Huh.
Because there were such nice characters, and you were playing,
Yeah.
and we were firing each other, and being. It was very well scripted.
Yeah.
Because we were characters. you know,
Right.
and it's
So you
always
and I, yeah. But so
interesting
you
to
would also
watch.
be characters in a film.
Kurban was nice. We've done some.
Kurban
films.
is lovely.
Even
yeah.
Tashan was great fun, but somehow misfired. Sadly, it was such a great attempt.
But is
That's
it-
why for us.
Is there exactly? Exactly.
Misfire for me.
So is there like a, I don't know, is there, do you talk about it, or is this, nothing has come up? It's not like a rule,
Yeah, we keep
right?
talking, saying, let's do a movie together.
No,
make
now
lots of
we
money
started
and
to-
buy
earlier
this.
he was like-
We get paid. Let's produce it together
No.
and make a killing.
But now he's
Right.
But now he's like, earlier he would be like, no, it's not good to work, and it's not interesting, and we should work together, and whatever. Maybe because Tashan or Agent didn't do well.
Maybe I want to work with other people.
Yeah, but I was like, that's not the case. I'm sure if it's a good film, people will want to see us together.
Yeah.
It's a different. So now, we've liked something together. So
So we're actually
what
working on
works out.
something and trying to come up with
That's gonna be
something that
fun.
takes into account that we are married and we are.
Nice.
So play against that a little bit. So it is the work in progress.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think
exciting.
it'll be fun now at this stage.
Yeah.
At this stage.
Like, I think when we're also comfortable as actors also and do something different,
Yes, this time I'm going to act very well. I am. I've decided.
I remember you saying,
That's
Agent
I might
Vinod-
not live with you when I'm making the movie. I've decided. If it's
Yeah, how would
outdoor-
that work?
Yeah,
Would that be
I've had to
fun?
take another room. I think I should.
Please do.
We should, right? Others it's like too much like the.
Huh? Wouldn't it be hard?
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine.
We'll have some romance. We'll meet on the set. Hi.
Chef's a big mess. What do I do?
I love that
I
idea.
like this. I stay somewhere in another room.
That is romantic.
Opposite the hall, yeah. Not very far away. But just, you'd have to wake up at the same time and all that sort of stuff.
This is fab.
Yeah, what do I say?
Announce this soon. Whatever this script is,
yeah,
we
we
need to
want to-
know.
yeah.
We need to know.
It'll be fun.
Okay, I'm going to go on to this section where now, Saif, you're going to tell us how many of her films have you actually seen.
Okay.
So these are a bunch of your movies available on Tata Play Binge. And you're going to assign a rank to them. Okay, and it's 1 to 5. 1 is the best, 5 is the least. Your favorites, of course. So, Kareena, first, Saif's
Yeah.
films. Kal Ho Na Ho.
She's can't compare it to, right?
No, so what? Am
See,
I
all
supposed to
five.
rank all 5 one up?
Yeah, I'm going to just give you, where in your, like between 1 and 5, loosely, where would you place Kal Ho Na Ho?
Oh, God. Because I don't know
What?
what the others are.
Okay, you want me to give you
Yeah.
all?
all
Okay.
five.
Kal Ho Na Ho, Love Aajkal, Go Goa Gone, Parinita, Dil Chahta Hai.
Not bad. I like
Oh, God. Very tough.
Tough, no? Yeah.
everything.
Dil Chahta Hai 1.
Wow.
Omkara's not there, right?
Not there.
30 years. these films that are
Parinita
not there.
2.
Okay.
Kal Ho Na Ho 3. And
Go Goa Gone and Love Aajkal.
Go Goa Gone 4. Quite cool. That
Yeah.
She said,
character. and
Go Goa
mad.
Gone as though it was.
Yeah, but it
number
was,
one.
but it was a fun
It's
character.
Love Aajkal is better than.
No, I think Go Goa Gone is
That's-
different.
Yeah, it is different.
And 5 is Love
Aajkal.
Aajkal. Okay. Saif, for you, the 5 choices are...
Imtiaz Ji is. I thought Love Aajkal is better than.
But
some
this
of
is
them.
my
Okay,
choice,
it's your
not
choice.
yours.
Your
She
choice.
loves. It's
Yes,
her
I'm politely
choices.
disagreeing for anyone watching.
Correct. So, Saif, here are your 5 choices. Ek mein aur ek tu, Talash, Jab We Met, Jaane Jaan, Chameli
Okay, so Jab We Met, Chameli.
is number 1. Jab,
Jab
We Met is number 1.
Chameli is number 2. Number 3 is can it be Ek Mein Aur Ek Tu? And then there's 4 Talash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Jaane Jaan.
Is 5?
I don't want to put it number 5.
Yeah.
also.
Well, have
It's a
2 and
tie.
4. It's a tie. Exactly.
Yeah, let's tie.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So 2 and 4. Let's put Jaane Jaan on
3.
on 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
With another one or
With Ek Mein Aur Ek
With
Tu,
Ek
you
Mein
said.
Aur Ek Tu. Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
And then
And then Talash. And
is
yeah.
number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I
4.
still remember.
There is no 5.
There is no 5.
Yeah.
Everything she does is amazing.
Yeah.
There's no 5.
I'm fine with that.
I remember, Kareena, there was a scene in Chameli where you say, "Bas love hona chahiye." Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I've never forgotten. It's so lovely, so lovely.
It's kind of, I mean, the word is used quite loosely, but an iconic look, I remember. You could just see the character when you think of the lipstick and the outfit.
Yeah. And such an interesting idea.
Yeah, one night.
And the fact that she teaches him about humanity.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is so lovely. Okay, now we go to the binge list in which you're going to tell me what kind of watchers you are. Now, you both talk a lot about the detective genre, right? Where did this love begin?
I don't know. It's so weird that one of those things that we had in our common of watching, but Kareena likes a lot of slightly kind of 80s American, like heart-to-heart kind of TV, and also old English TV, which kind of I'd also grown up with for some reason. So it's some strange thing in common. Hercule Poirot, and Sherlock Holmes and Midsommar Murders. So we just kind of, I think it's the atmosphere she likes.
Yeah,
the kind of,
I like that.
In the madness of Mumbai, there's a kind of English country, bucolic scene playing in the background, right? That's the kind of...
And so you individually loved this before you guys got it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But your binge list is like crazy.
No, yeah, of course.
It's more interesting than mine.
No, I mean, I did like...
More experimental.
Kareena is a little escapist in a mellow way.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't want to get too real. So I think Friends and 2.5 Men.
Yeah.
Comfort.
Comfort. But you get into like
I love Breaking Bad and all the kind of...
no, even recently you've been watching
Altered
some
Carbon.
So like disturbing stuff.
No, Altered Carbon.
Also,
in fact, no, not really disturbing.
Horror.
When I was a kid, I used to like sort of slightly violent shows, but I find it horrific, now. I love to watch pleasant things, or not thought-provoking, but action, thrillers. Altered Carbon, the show?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's an amazing kind of futuristic action
She doesn't
movie.
like it.
It's fab. It's
I don't watch
fab.
half the things.
It's like you can change your body, and it's called a sleeve, as long as the chip is all right. And then you take the chip and put it into different bodies hundreds of years later, and then there's this murder mystery where this guy has to solve it.
Like a lot about history.
So if I'm watching TV, I can't watch
Yeah.
TV in the day
Right.
much. I'd rather read. And if I have to watch something, or if there's something only, it'll be a documentary or something in the day. But post 7, I chemically just different person, and I'd love to watch something. And if I'm working, then it's one episode, and if I'm not, then it could go into a binge.
So you are a binger then?
It could happen.
It could,
happen.
yeah.
We
4
both have.
a.m.
Remember, we were doing. I was doing a movie or something in America. We were watching something on TV.
Yeah.
It was the Golden Girls, and then
Zodiac.
it was network television. But they kept saying,
Yeah, one more.
"Okay, one more episode." Okay, we'd be like, "Whoa!" And then we ordered Chinese food, and we had a
Yeah,
marathon.
massive binge.
What
So we do have that binge
What
quality.
fun! But regularly, routinely, do you watch together or apart?
Sometimes if we're watching like a show, like I binge The Crown.
Sometimes you get into a show, and then we lose her to the show. And her time during the lockdown,
Like
was in
you
the
didn't
afternoon,
binge Elite,
and you
I
can't
did.
talk to her, even though it was a small flat and we had the same room. But she wasn't there, and we'd be like, "Hey, can I ask you?" No, not right now. It was on the thing.
Like I binged Elite.
Elite.
Right.
You did.
No. And sometimes you watch something on your iPad
So it's
while
not
I'm
his
watching
scene.
something.
Okay.
So I don't know.
But generally, quite often, about 70% of the time, we've watched
Together.
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 Yeah.
And who picks when it is together?
Who?
Who picks
Who
what to
picks?
watch?
I think we
You hear who pays?
Yeah, that-
Who pays? He pays. No.
no, I'm like who?
Who gets to
Pays
decide?
for the binge.
I think I get to decide what we are going to binge.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you often say you can turn it over if you want, and you can do whatever.
Yeah.
When
Like
you're zoning watching.
Downton Abbey, I want to binge. He tried to watch one, but he
He
couldn't
couldn't.
get into it.
Huh,
so.
huh.
Then
I
he-
live in Downton Abbey.
So
I
then he
can't
just
see this
kind of,
on TV also.
you
It's
know.
my regular life.
no, he turns,
Yeah. No, listen, because I have such a hard time. You'd think a filmmaker and a film critic could watch things
Yeah,
together.
oh God, no, I can imagine
So
that.
I'm like, let's just spend quality time apart.
apart. Yeah.
I'll do my thing.
So you're
You do
watching your
yours.
thing.
Yeah. So do you guys have a hard time when you're watching together? Because like with Vinod, he's looking at uski wig theekni. I'm like, just shut up. Nobody cares. I'm into the story, right? Like, do you have that kind of critiquing going on?
No, sometimes if I'm
You are a
watching
bit
something,
like
no,
that.
but if I'm watching something on my own,
Hmm.
I also notice. I just saw Apocalypse Now again, and I thought, what amazing lighting and what a cool kind of thing. And if you do see a wig sticking out sometimes, so there is that. But I think when you're watching something good,
Yeah.
even though you're in the profession and basically all films are a manipulation of your emotion or whatever, but if you can't see it happening, and if it's subtly done enough, that's magical. Sometimes you just
get
can't
sucked
see
into
it.
it.
You
Yeah.
can't see it. You can't see the craft,
but
and you
because
can't
you're
see
an
the
actor, sometimes you tend to be a
yeah.
little
But
also-
sometimes you lose that.
I
right?
don't, but you do get. I don't get into that.
You don't get into that. Yeah.
Even I don't. Most of the time, I don't. But maybe sometimes
than
when you're
me.
watching you,
Huh.
but I don't like point it out.
Huh. You don't like mess up the magic of that moment.
No.
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 Huh? No. Okay. Are there any particular rituals to your viewing? Like, is there a place you watch? Is there a blanket? Is there a snack? Is there any of that?
Definitely.
Yeah. Like what?
I mean, so I'm sitting on the sofa in front of the TV in the living room. Then the ottoman comes in, so my
Oh,
feet
God,
are on it.
Devu.
Then two razais, then put on the AC, and then Tata play binge app, and
And a
the AC
big
is on.
bowl of
And then
makhana.
makhana or popcorn with dangerous, something, and it's just that's it. Wow. See, the whole thing has to be set up.
Yeah,
and
it's a
then,
setup for binge.
And not for you?
No, because I don't like watching TV in the living room. I'm more like, if I'm in bed, I'll watch on my iPad or on
you
the
watch
TV.
TV while having lunch.
That's just like, if at all.
Huh.
When?
You watch Midsummer.
Yeah, but I don't like
Friends,
see it
whatever.
through. But if I'm binging, it's on my iPad or on TV in bed.
Okay.
Now, Kareena, you watched, and you've said that you watched Mayor of Easttown like a bunch of times and then decided to do the Buckingham murders, right? Does this happen often that something you watch will influence your choices?
Watch it a bunch of times and do the Buckingham one. Something. Copy it, Kate Winslet.
No,
Yeah.
I just said when
Inspired
actors
by.
are so inspirational.
Yeah.
Like something
But
like that.
Does that happen often?
I think it does when something really has that
Something moves you.
impact
You watch
on you.
Good, the Bad,
you
the
know.
Ugly and end up doing Lal Kaptan.
Yeah, see? But that's what it is. No? There's
It is,
certain
it's somewhere,
actors,
I guess.
directors who will, of course, have that impact on your mind because you are an artist as well, somehow.
So some inception happens.
Yeah.
Hannah?
There is a connection and it just kind of happens where you say that, wow, I'd love to be a part of this world.
Yeah. What's a film or show that like you've loved but you really disliked, or the other way around?
Well, I never got into Elite. I loved Class. I never got into Elite for some reason. which
You
I
watched the
loved.
Hindi version.
I watched the Hindi version.
And you?
I got into the Spanish version,
And
even though it's the
something I
same
watched
kind of
in
show.
work,
Right.
So,
Right.
but he loved the
Breaking Bad or whatever.
Yeah, so I think different. You didn't get into Downton Abbey. I did. I like Crown also, not really.
Crown, I love the earlier parts. I
Yeah,
love the
you
Crown, actually. I love
The
the Crown.
first part.
Just don't like the Charles Diana drama part so much.
No.
I do.
What's a guilty pleasure?
Food, what? Or watching what?
Watching, viewing wise.
I think guilty pleasure is always like, I don't know, I like my 2.5 Men.
I love 2.5 Men
Yeah.
also.
Something comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something joyous.
Yeah,
Hannah,
I think so.
puts a smile on your
Yeah,
face.
yeah. Go to
Yeah.
sleep with a
Happy mood.
laugh.
Yeah. What's a film that changed how you think about acting? Is there one?
Again, the same thing. Like sometimes it's so good you don't really even see the. But I think anything that Al Pacino's done, maybe Heat or something, where you're just like, this is. I think I'm a Al Pacino huge fan. I think he's just a legend. I mean, beyond his craft and the way he acts and how he gets into it is, I've never seen anything come close, even. So, almost anything he's done, Scent of a Woman or Heat, for example. Whenever I see him work, I'm like, I wish I could come close to this level of getting into the role.
Yeah.
It's just too good.
And for you, Kareena, is there any?
No, I think a lot of Hindi film actresses like Sri Devi, I think people like that have really, impacted the reason why I also chose to, get into movie acting.
That way
And
I can
acting
say
and
Benji also.
Yeah.
Great.
Of course.
Yeah.
Dilip Kumar Sahib.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so many,
So many,
along the
yeah,
way, you
so
kind of
many,
just
I
be like, oh my God.
So great acting just blows you. I would just generally. Is it interesting when you're an actor actually to appreciate? acting. It's like I play a bit of guitar, and if I hear like the introduction to Lazy by Deep Purple, the fact that I can kind of play it, does it help me appreciate it even more? Kind of,
I'm
but you
sure
don't
it
really,
does. It
because you
deepens
realize how
it.
difficult it is.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
you're like, that's just not normal what happened there.
Yeah.
So it's good to appreciate that, I think,
Yeah.
in a way,
Yeah.
by knowing a bit about it.
Okay. Have you discovered any content because of the kids? What do you watch with them?
Yeah.
Peppa Pig.
I did discover all that. Peppa Pig,
You like
Scooby-Doo,
Peppa
Scooby-Doo. I
Pig.
love Peppa Pig, Scooby-Doo.
He's like the best Saturday night sitting
In bed with
the
both kids watching Peppa
Pig.
Oh, that's so sweet.
What?
He's like, let's watch Peppa
Scooby-Doo.
Pig.
Scooby-Doo and various things. Lots of football. Tintin I introduced them to.
And they like Tintin?
They love, yeah.
Nice.
Ming loves Tintin.
And so, yeah, but the Grinch recently, but I mean, one knew that.
Huh.
But there's some names that he comes up with, like, usually cartoons, like, what are those, PJ Masks?
Yeah, lots of things like which you didn't even know.
I have no idea what that one is.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a kid kind of,
Yeah, so
Huh.
we're of
Netflix
that
for
age.
kids.
For kids, right.
We're supposed to binge watch Home Alone.
Oh,
We decided.
Like a
tonight.
Christmas movie tonight. Something like that.
right.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's quite fun to
It's a
find
classic.
something to watch with the kids and kind of cuddle up. I remember watching The Mummy Returns, and Tim said, "Is this going to be scary?" And I said, "Not really." So a mildly atmospheric kind of a spooky movie like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
Good fun. Kind of brings the family together, As
Absolutely.
filmmakers, I think we should, I'm sure they know that, but it's a hell of a feeling to kind of bring a family together under a blanket watching something.
It's so lovely.
Yeah, it's lovely.
It's so lovely. I used to watch with my son The Little Mermaid on loop.
Oh, God.
I was just like, oh my God, can we get past Ursula at some point?
Oh, no.
But it was like, that was his thing. Okay, now we're on segment 4, which is we've curated a bunch of movies of yours. Okay, and these are all available on Tata Play Binge, which is, of course, an app which has 22 plus apps that kind of help you to binge. I'm going to give you a film and you're going to tell me what's the first thing that comes to your mind. These are your own movies, right? So, Kareena, for you, when I say Jaane Jaan, what's the first thing you think of?
Netflix.
Okay. Veere the Wedding.
Veer the Wedding. I think, I think like a,
Food.
no,
Yeah.
in India's first kind of, I wouldn't say chick flick, but where, so many women together kind of headlined a Sex and the City kind of movie.
And opened huge.
Yeah.
Which was
Without
so good.
hoarding.
Yeah, nothing. Just
Nothing.
Obviously, it was just like a digital campaign.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too. I remember that massive bumper opening, which is so fab.
Yeah,
So
lovely,
fab.
lovely.
Yeah. Saif, Sacred Games.
Just Bombay or Mumbai from a very different lens to anything I'd seen, and shooting in places like I'd never been. I really got to know this city going to some of those back streets, and not to glorify them. So in all, it's all its glory and squalor, the kind of back streets of Mumbai.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And Vikram Vedha.
Vikram Vedha, same with Lucknow, motorbikes in Lucknow. And yeah, in I think it was still COVID when we shot there, but an amazingly charming city, Lucknow, with all that architecture. So riding a motorbike around that as a job was quite fun.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was great. They were like, just ride this, we'll shoot you. And I thought, that's a nice day's work.
Okay, and the two of you together, Omkara. What do you think of when I say Omkara?
Lagna Tyagi.
Hannah?
Art meets commerce. Like, I think all of us in that movie, the people that chose that movie, you can just tell that they liked cinema, because it was different. It brought together these commercial actors in inverted commas with these theatre actors, and everyone was on the same level. It was just a really lovely experience for all of us.
And such a happy marriage.
Yeah.
I thought that was just the right
And
You know, the sweet
lovely
spot.
dialogue.
Yeah.
The
yeah.
lovely dialogue.
Yeah.
Just so well written. And that song.
Beanie Jalai.
Yeah.
Oh my
Beanie
God.
Jalai.
My
All
all-time.
I think the entire album was fabulous.
Fabulous. It's
Yes.
fab. It was fab. What do you think of when I say Kurban?
Cold.
Yeah.
I think of minus 25.
Philadelphia.
Oh my
Those
God.
train
The subways.
the subway, the
Yes,
tube stations. We
yes.
used to shoot there all night.
We had a lovely cameraman, Hemant, who shot Kareena with a tube light and she looked radiant. And my review says he's looking middle-aged. Because
No.
it was so it was so nice. It was a lovely
Such a
movie.
brilliant
It was
movie.
freezing cold.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
And it was a very cool movie though. But it was Philadelphia in winter.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah.
December, Christmas time.
Oh my God.
No, but great fun. We had a blast making it. Renzel was amazing. Dharma film. Yeah.
Such a lovely.
Quite a lovely story also.
Nice. Okay, to end it with, you have to pick up those cue cards and I think ask me something.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll ask you, what was the last movie you watched on OTT?
The Archies.
One film that you can rewatch many times.
Sholay, which I can see.
No,
anytime.
recent times.
Well, really, it's not so recent, but K3G.
K3G.
I think that's
that's also brilliant. But I think more recent. I'm putting you on the
Jaane Jaan.
spot. No, I'm putting you on the spot. Come on, Anu.
super recent. I'm trying to figure out.
Or a show.
That's a tough one.
You become your radio show host.
Yeah.
That's
You've
right.
taken over.
I need
Binge.
Anu on the radio show. This will be
That's
fun.
right.
around.
What am I? Genuinely rewatch is not.
Have you ever reviewed
No.
one of
Kora.
Vinod's movies?
No.
Never.
Never.
Boring.
No,
Put
never.
some sparks flying.
No, we want to stay happily
Yeah.
married.
It'll be
We-
disaster.
we
That
don't
would have
know.
been my question.
He'd freak. He'd be like,
Chopra's direction is.
Not up to.
Wait a minute. No,
Not up
that's
to
too
it.
funny.
But I have to tell you guys, the performances that I loved were, of course, for you, Kareena, both Rupa D'Souza and Maya D'Souza, two women
Yeah.
who just are scarred and strong, and just I thought you brought so much depth to that. And with you, Seb, I think enough people didn't appreciate what you did in Bhoot Police.
Oh, I
okay.
love it. Thank you.
I thought
He
you were
was
the only
very
one.
funny.
It was so funny.
Thank you. I loved it.
I
Doing that.
enjoyed the film. also.
You were the only one in on the joke.
Yeah, I thought. Thank
I
you.
thought-
I love
Yeah,
that
yeah,
story.
yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
why I
She's
loved
got
it.
I'm telling
Thank you.
she's
She's
made
got
a
it.
good script with two. It might. I don't know. It might work now.
It was so much fun. It was so much fun. And another one that I really thought that you brought so much to it was Lucy Billamoria in Rangoon.
Oh, thank you.
Also
and
lovely.
again,
Also
Very
so lovely.
Vishal's
Yeah.
lovely staging. he
And
has
such a damaged
presents.
man.
Yeah.
And oh my God, it was just so lovely. And
It was
I
a nice
wish-
character.
It was a really nice character. And I thought you did it so well.
Thank you. Very kind. Wow. Can you name some films that have surprised you and have been a good pick from some of the seasoned actors?
So, genuinely this year, I feel is like Manoj Bajpayee's year.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, look at Gulmohar.
Gulmohar.
And that scene he has with Sharmila ji where he loses his temper and just tells her,
He
oh
is
my
just
God.
spectacular
He's
in anything he does.
He's
I think.
spectacular. And then to
wonderful
sort of
actor.
do Sirf Ek Banda,
Banda hai.
and then to do Joram, which has just released. And it was just,
Amazing.
what an actor.
Yeah, and
doing
he's
so
always
much.
having fun.
Yeah,
doing
yeah,
that. You can
yeah.
you can
You can
tell.
tell. You can
Like,
tell.
he's just
So I think it's really been a spectacular year for him.
true.
I did Arakshan.
Oh yeah, you only.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
I did a scene with him where I was telling him how much I've suffered and, I've been so underprivileged in my life and Arakshan. And he was, after cut, he said, no, I don't buy it for a second.
I don't buy it for a second. Oh no.
And we drank Hercules.
And you tried.
आपकी टट्टी धोई है और हमने ये की. He said, no, सब नहीं. Don't buy it for a second, he said. And then we drank Hercules rum together in NOC. We were holed up in the same mountainside with JP. And I was in his room and I said, have you got anything to drink? And he said, I have this rum. And it said Hercules XXX rum, which we drank. And then nearly went blind, but it was I love Manoj. It's
Yeah.
great year, as you said. So, what was the you read that?
Yeah, and then we've asked Anu that what was the last movie you watched on OTT? You said
The Archies,
The Archies, one film that you can rewatch many times. You said
Sholay, and K3G.
K3G.
Because I think K3G is just such pure joy, and I think
so fun.
it's so fun, and I don't think joy gets enough respect. Importance.
Yeah,
You know,
was
we
so
go
like-
we go to the movies for joy, for pleasure, and it just gives me joy all the time.
Yeah,
You know,
of course.
and
We're not
the
over
world.
debt to pleasure too. Yeah,
we do.
that's we do. Yeah.
We do.
All
And
things.
on that happy note, Saif and Kareena, it has been such a pleasure.
Always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So nice talking with you.
Thank you.
Remember, we were doing. I was doing a movie or something in America. We were watching something on TV.
Yeah, yeah.
It was the Golden Girls,
I
and
know,
then it was
Zoe and
it was
I.
network television. But they kept saying,
Yeah, one
"Okay,
more.
one more episode." Okay, we'd be like, "Wow!" And then we ordered Chinese food, and we had a
Yeah,
marathon.
massive binge.
What
So, yeah, we do have that binge
What
quality.
fun.